Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Daria Reactions. I am Fred. If you are new to the channel, welcome. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. Today we are wrapping up season 4 of MTV's Daria with the episode Die, Die, My Darling. And that's D-Y-E as in dye, hair dye. Something I have never done. Well, no, I take that back. At one point in time I did dye my hair. Let's see, I had red and blonde highlights at two different times in my lifetime. Um, I was a very young man. That would have been about 2004, 2005, 2006 ish when I did those things. Anyway, for, for those who don't know, how we do this is we do a full watch through of the episode, uncut. You get my full reactions, ramblings, thoughts as they happen, and then we do a bit of a further discussion, my overall context views on the episode to wrap things up. You don't hear any audio because I do tend to run my mouth all the way through, but you do get like a rough idea of the episode where we are in placement thanks to the capture here, the magic oval of the desktop display. And of course, we turned that blur on and off just so we don't piss off CBS Viacom, because they are quite anal about things. So with that said, let's just get right into it here. Die, Die, My Darling. The episode that basically sets up the first of the two Daria MTV movies, as well as wraps up a lot of a very storyline heavy season. And this has a Daria Day intro, so let's see what Daria and Jane look like beforehand here. That's a wonderful look for Jane in terms of the hair. The censoring of using the of a hair blower is quite clever. Thing is, though, a lot of it's not Daria's fault in terms of the problems that they're having. It's Jane and Tom, and it just carries over to Daria. Okay, they're staring at a tiger. Holy shit! The framing of this episode. Whoever handled like the animation for this episode, in terms of laying uh of stuff onto the background, did a shit job, because Trent's car was not brushing against the edges of it. No one's home, Helen. Yes, who are you talking to, Helen? But yeesh, many things shots are not lining up correctly in terms of anything that's a close up, anything that's the stuff in the foreground. Whoops, Daria walks in. Can't blame that. Very nice, a self portrait. Wait, Jane is asking Daria to dye her hair? Why? No, I'm kind of curious. Is like, why? Yeah, yeah. Jane is just asking for trouble here. Number one, Daria is not into. Yeah, I, again, this is all Jane causing some problems here. But again, th- I am just kind of flabbergasted here in terms of just of does Jane want Daria to sabotage her here or what? Because it's not making any damn sense. Yeah, Quinn could do it. Daria calling Jane a bitch is quite justified in this case here. That's not blonde. That's more of a purple, pink. Yeah, yeah. Jane is made. Uh, Jane, Jane again. Jane is jumping to the assumptions here, and Daria is justified of being outraged here. Again, they're really going at it here, and a lot of it is Jane's own paranoia coming to head here. The Declaration of In My Pants with Thomas Jefferson, and considering the number of stuff that came out by Thomas Jefferson about a few years after this episode aired, is just genius. Yeah, you're something, Jane. You're yeah, it is. It's orange and black. Not yeah. No, she didn't. No, no, Jane. What the actual fuck? This is all Jane's fault here. There is nothing about this episode. Has done nothing wrong at all. It's all Jane's fault. It's like for what? Daria doesn't paint. Yeah, yeah. What she didn't. Jane. Yeah, yeah. Trent is just hammering home there that there was some bullshit going on. Trent is cut to the chase. That's actually a great shining moment for Trent. Daria's legs and stuff, which should be flushed against the bottom of the shot here, it's literally lifting up and showing that it's not touching against the bottom of the screen. Like Tiffany loves philosophy. I doubt it. Yeah, because at this point, Daria is justified completely. She's trying to call Jane too, I believe. Helen's poor secretary just going through it. When is it a good time? When is it a good time to call Helen? I mean, seriously, when? Never. Oh, she's calling Tom. Uh, yep. J- and to make Tom making a call back to the parade incident. Jane, you could Jane could not call and apologize to Daria first. Oh, yeah, yeah. Daria didn't do anything on purpose here. Jane, this is all on Jay. No, if anything, Tom is pursuing Daria. Yeah, the answer to that question is yes. If you know what the question was that Daria asked, like the answer to that is yes. Uh boy, and things. Yeah, what is he doing there? Tom's car is a piece of shit when you really think about it. And again, the framing of the episode, and a lot of stuff with this with season four. The number of animation errors is just nuts because a lot of this is your fault, Tom. Daria's pissed. A colossal jerk. Oh shit. Oh boy. Yeah, Daria, run to the hills, run away. And that sets up the dynamic that Tom and Daria will be dating all throughout season five. Can't shoot squirrels, can't drown them. What are you supposed to do with them? Daria isn't saying anything. No, she did not. It's like Quinn almost caught the right idea there. But Daria is upset and guilt ridden now. And Jane is overly too perky here. But this episode has a lot of animation. There's a lot of coloring issues too. If you could probably tell. At least Daria's confessing it. And it drew a crowd. Hi. Oh, how could? Yeah. Now Jane's now rightfully pissed. Yes, she is. But at least at this point in the episode, Jane is actually justified for being angry. Yes, because Daria tagged along. But yeah, it's so twisted here. No, no. Technically, he was. He is from Cool World. Helen, you are, and Shane. Daria is here to speak with you. And again, this is the one time Daria is actually seeking out her mom's advice. Uh, no, no. It's actually Helen was her first choice to speak to. Yeah, twice. Yeah, Helen is trying. This is actually a real great scene with Daria and Helen trying to get that mother daughter moment there. Life sucks, and then you die. Basis. Uh, yeah, it's under control, so that's something Daria can take to heart there. Trent being a big brother moment there. Again, this is Trent's peaking as a character here. She totally has that way. Hello there. Make out? Nope. What? But it helped. No, 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 no. Tom and Daria does not make more sense than Tom and Jane. Daria and Jane makes more sense than anything else. Quite literally 5 minutes. I mean, none of this is Daria's fault, Jane. Lay off it. Yeah, at least they're still friends. Boy, they're laying it on thick there of the breaking of Jane and Daria. The- Quinn not answering the phone? Oh, it's Tom. And it's something different in terms of the closing credits there, in terms of Daria and Jane's, and a lot of stuff involving Tom. So that's actually quite different. In matter of fact, they're not using the usual Daria theme to close this out. All right. So the end of season 4 is basically another cliffhanger and setting up so much stuff for the movie Is It Fall? Yes, and for season 5, you got actual questions. The whole dynamic between Jane and Daria is in doubt, and it's like moving Daria into dating, which is not exactly a realm she's really covered. Now, there was like a couple of instances of Daria's like with some guys that she found interesting, but there were some obvious flaws. Upchuck, the two guys at the what was it, Daria's dance party episode, who turned out to be Upchuck's cousin. So, I mean, come on, the Rutheimer gene is quite charming in its own way. And like thinking back to the year 2000, which for me was about 150 pounds ago. There was I don't remember Tom being well received at all as a character. He basically he's a complete douchebag no matter which way you slice it. Especially with how he instigates a lot of the problem. He's basically there to. Tom was essentially created and added to the show to have that conflict build between Daria and Jane, and Daria and Jane have had their rifts and stuff over the course of the first 3 seasons. So Tom being there to have like that, like the romantic triangle of him dating Jane first and then breaking them up, and Tom siding over to Daria and creating a very weird dynamic. It just raises. It just makes you wonder, like, what were they thinking? And obviously, in the early 2000s, as I and pre 9/11, the type of thinking it's more like typical teen drama is to actually move Daria to see if it could be that type of show in terms of what you would see on like Beverly Hills 90210 and even Buffy the Vampire Slayer to some extent, where you have like female characters of lead female characters getting into these types of plots and situations. So it's basically an entire season long arc. especially when you get into everything from like the episode I Loathe the Parade up to this point. Is like Tom was not in a few episodes, uh, but like really starting from Mart of Darkness and carrying. No, actually, no. Before that, Psychotherapy. It's like the when Jane sets up the webcam in her room, and Tom is like shaking his ass unknowingly to the camera. Is like the first instance of them having problems, and it keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And you go back in a couple episodes again, go back to the Load the Parade episode where Jane and excuse me, with Daria and Tom spend all that time together, and you basically you can go back to that point because it's brought up in this episode. That's the point. Tom's like infatuation with Jane basically starts to wane, and he starts becoming more and more interested in Daria. Um, as far Die Die My Darling, this episode could it's not unlike a lot of episodes from seasons 1, 2, and 3, and even most of season 4. It's not an episode that can be watched standalone because so much of it relies on continuity and things that were built up before it. Heck, you have to watch the episode Fire, which I watched just before and recorded just before this doing this video. You actually have to watch them in tandem, like back to back, to appreciate the continuity and stuff. The one, and this is probably the one episode where I react the most because going through every episode in order up to this point, seeing how things were being built up in the tension. Daria is an innocent bystander, and I was actually getting mad. It's like Jane wants Daria to dye her hair. Daria has no interest in hair dye or beautification gimmicks. And it's like, why would Jane insist on Daria doing it unless Jane wants an excuse to yell and get angry at Daria for sabotaging her, but Jane is setting her up to sabotage her. Jane subconsciously is setting that up, and and that's the joy of doing. That's probably the one thing I love about doing this entire wash through, is that you get. I have become so refamiliarized with all the characters and like seeing characters, like. Where like when you see things that are coming and is like hold the fucking phone, that's not what's going on here. It's like it is very well done, um to that degree. And also great moments there. Kudos to actually Trent having some big brother moments in this episode. Well, he had like the big thing talk with Daria in the previous episode regarding like the vibe he was telling. Like Trent warns Daria about the vibe that he was getting from Tom in terms of him being infatuated with her. And then you have that the switch over into this episode where Trent actually gets to be you. This episode has like some great moments with Trent being the big brother to Jane. It's like there's not a lot of that, but this episode gives Trent those moments, and not to mention, I love the scene with Helen where Daria literally goes to Helen at her job. So it's like Daria is like she is the one person that Daria can go to, and it's her mom. So that's a very touching scene there, and yeah, so things are set up quite nicely the the movie. Is it fall yet? Which we will do next week. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it in two parts or or it's going to be a one long ass video. Because I think its broadcast length is about 75 minutes. Without commercials, because I think it was, if memory serves me back, right, it was like 90 minutes with commercials. It was like an hour and a half. So we'll see how we sort that out. So with that all said, tighten your friendship bracelet, stay safe, like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, and we'll see you next time.